Yo, welcome everybody back to the 2-minute warning.
Hold on.
I think
This isn't a welcome back.
No, we got to start it off with an apology from both of us. We took a long hiatus. I think our last episode was June 6th. It is now October 17th. About 4 months.
We're halfway through the new NFL season.
Yeah, we had to take time off to focus on what's important, focus on our personal lives, focus on schooling, whatever that is. We had to take a little bit of time off. It became a little bit too much for us to handle, so we took time off to focus on what's important. But we figured with how the NFL season is going and all the moves that have just been made as of yesterday, we bring it back.
We're back!
Welcome everybody back to this episode of the 2-minute warning.
Season 3.
All right, so let's get into things. I've got records here from when, if you look back in the archives, which are now on YouTube because we're switching podcast providers. So if you guys want to go back and look at the archives, they'll be all on our YouTube channel. But everything that's going to be new on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts is all going to be new stuff, all from this point on. So if you do want to look at the archives, they will be up on our YouTube channel. So back in the archives, I think during the NFL offseason when we became desperate and had no content that we could make, we started just predicting random ass shit. So one of those random ass shits was records. And Lucas lost his records, but I have mine still on this piece of paper that looks like it's from 1940. So we'll go each division, and basically what my prediction was and what they're at now. So yeah. We'll start with...
Before we do this, should we talk about the news?
You mean like Amari Cooper?
Amari Cooper.
Since Bills is the first one on the list here, we'll talk about Amari Cooper. So I think this is a steal for the Bills. This is a fleece considering what they gave up, second-round pick. And even though if you look at the Bills wide receiver core and you see Khalil Shakir and you see Keon Coleman and you're like, okay, this wide receiver core is ass, they have not been the worst wide receiver core in the league compared to other wide receiver cores, the Cowboys.
Khalil Shakir has been
not great.
The only bright spot.
Yeah, even though he's been great, he's been good.
Keon Coleman has been I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I said this on the podcast or not, but I'm pretty sure I said Keon Coleman is a poor man's George Pickens. He's a slower version of George Pickens. Yes, he can win the 50-50 balls, make them 60-40s or 70-30s, but he's slower. So he doesn't get the separation, so every ball you throw to him is 50-50.
He doesn't seem like somebody that if he knows the route, if he knows that ball's not coming to him, he's not even going to finish his route. Speaking of George Pickens, that big controversy about literally him not even trying to run his route because he knew the ball wasn't going to him.
I respect it.
No.
When your quarterback is a guy that...
Dude, Justin Fields been balling. Speaking, okay. We'll get to that after.
We'll get to that, but no, he hasn't. Overrated, in my opinion. And that's
my
boy, Russell Wilson.
I agree that he's been overrated, but I do not think that you should sit someone who's been winning you football games. Yes,
there's an argument.
The defense has been winning games for sure. I think the defense is carrying them for sure, but you do not sit your quarterback that is like. Dude, I would set Jalen Hurts over Justin Fields at this point in the season. Jalen Hurts has been fucking dog shit. We'll get there. Not for Kenny Pickett. You do not seat Jalen Hurts for Kenny Pickett, but you definitely should seat Deshaun Watson for Jameis Winston. Deshaun Watson has been fucking ridiculous. But
he's been arguably the worst quarterback ever in this season.
Yeah.
And I'm a Deshaun Watson guy.
Dude,
last season on the podcast, I was saying Deshaun Watson, I really hope he comes back, is the guy. He's been Jamarcus Russell bad.
But regardless, back to the Bills.
Yeah.
I think this is a stellar move for the Bills, considering they knew they were contending. Going into the season, who knew what was going to happen with that wide receiver core? You got fucking MVS, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. That's on paper, that's the worst wide receiver core in the league by far. On paper. But then they come into the season.
Curtis Samuel.
Okay. Okay. Regardless, the worst wide receiver core on paper this season. Arguably. But then you bring in a guy who has had multiple 1,000-yard seasons, has made 2 or 3 Pro Bowls, balled out his first year with the Browns, balled out with Joe Flacco last year at the tail end of the season. That and his poor performance on the Browns is 1,000% Deshaun Watson's fault. Like, this guy cannot avoid, like, when Deshaun Watson getting blitzed is one of the funniest things you'll see.
I will say this, though, he has had a drop problem. Amari Cooper has the most drop balls in the NFL right now.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
but the thing is, if you look at the footage, and you see the way that Deshaun's throwing this ball, he's getting blitzed, he's under pressure, and instead of throwing a quick check down to a guy like Jerome Ford, he's fucking throwing off his back foot, not planting his feet, and he's throwing this ball way over people's heads, like way over Amari Cooper's head, way over Jerry Jeudy's head. Like, it's unfortunate, but I think Amari Cooper's in a gonna be producing. Like, I already have him on my parlay next week. Like this upcoming Sunday, I already have him scoring 2+ tutties. So
it's bold, man. It's bold. But what was the record you had him predict?
I had the Bills at 9-8. I still think the Bills are a 9-8 team.
Even with Amari Cooper?
I think
because here's the thing, right?
James Cook's injured. Like, he's questionable.
Yes, but Ty Johnson looked really good. What's his name? Ray Davis looked really fucking good. I personally am a Frank Gore Jr. fan. I hope he was the one that got, but, I mean, they looked really good. I think, because James Cook doesn't have a serious injury from everything I've been hearing, he'll be back this week. If not this week, next week for sure. I think with Amari Cooper, they could win 10, 11 games. I think. Now, a lot has changed. Like, Miami Dolphins are ass. That's a free 2 wins for them. Now, the Patriots, they should have a free 2 wins against the Patriots, but the Patriots, you know, they somehow steal a game from the Bills every year.
Yeah.
Now they don't have Belichick, so.
Well,
Bill Belichick,
and the Jets are up in the air too. Like, we'll get to them in a second, but
yeah, the Jets might turn around and win 11 games.
I don't. They got to get themselves a coach that's
Brick. Okay, I'll say this:
Coach Brick has been
a lot better from what I've seen. Last game, it just came down to red zone efficiency. Adding Tay to that,
but the thing is, who knows, right? Because if you look at teams that who tend to fire their coach mid-season, they have a great tail end of the season, and then you get a team like the Raiders, who apparently were fucking reborn under Antonio Pierce, and then Devontae still wants out. Gardner Minshew can't throw a pass to save his life. Like,
yeah, this isn't Colts Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, no, this Gardner Minshew, like. I don't think benching Gardner Minshew for Aiden O'Connell is the fucking solution, but like...
yeah, the pedo stash
just got to him.
Looked good first week, but now it's...
The Dolphins 12-5. I had the Dolphins winning 12-5. Obviously, this is not age well.
I don't think I was as high on the Dolphins as you were.
No, but they could still be 12-5. Like, it's rare, obviously.
I doubt it.
They've already lost 3 games. Tua's supposed to be coming back this season, apparently. I don't see it. I don't.
No, he will.
Yeah, but I don't see him turning around that team. I don't think he's the solution to that problem. They're obviously feeling the loss of Christian Wilkins huge, huge. Because I think so. Their D-line can't. They're getting smothered. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, they're just...
And obviously, offensively, like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They can't run the ball
without a healthy Devon A-Chain. I mean, Raheem Mostert's been hurt. I mean, Tua's now hurt. Tyreek hasn't been good since
they're coming off a bye.
Got arrested.
They're coming off a bye this week, so who knows what can happen. But
if I'm Tyreek Hill and I'm like, you know what, the only game I did good was when I got arrested, I'm doing illegal things every pregame. just so I can have that motivation. Because that's the only time he was good. Now, it was with Tua. He hasn't had Tua. And he's been bad. Jalen Waddle has been bad. Everyone's been bad on that team, pretty much. So, yeah. Bad luck for them, honestly.
Like, they got... The fact that they let Will Levis drop 31 points on their dome, like, is a problem. And the fact that the Titans...
Well, that wasn't Will Levis, though. Didn't they bench Will Levis?
That game? No, that was week 3 or week 2. Will Levis dropped... Will Levis... We'll get to Will Levis, because Will Levis is a fucking problem. Like...
I was talking about this yesterday. Will Levis might be a bottom 40 quarterback.
I think we agreed on this last year. Will Levis was
I was like, you know what? Okay, they bring in weapons. Pollard going to ease up.
Pollard's been good.
Pollard has been the one bright spot on that team.
But Calvin Ridley,
they bring in Pollard. They bring in Ridley, who was a bona fide. He's a good bona fide one. They bring D-Hop's still there. They bring in guys that can do things. So, I was like, if there was any year where Will Levis could break out, it's this year.
And this guy cannot keep the ball in his hands after the 2-minute warning.
The week-by-week memes.
Literally.
He's given the world so many.
Like, if people thought that Gia Duddy sloppy toppy in the offseason was going to fix his problems.
Hey, I thought it was going to be... me personally, I thought it was going to be a Jamal Murray type situation. You leak yourself, and then you go crazy, win the championship. But Will Levis just doesn't have the balls like Jamal Murray, I guess.
That was crazy. That was so crazy. But regardless, back to the Dolphins. Tyler Huntley, he's been all right filling in.
He's been ass.
He was better than Skylar Thompson though.
It's close.
Honestly,
it's close.
Tua should not come back.
Not this season.
I
think it's too far gone this season.
I don't think he should be. Dude, this guy should not be playing football again.
Well, you're making millions. It's kind of hard to, and you put your whole life into one thing, and then that one thing is being told by people that have never done that thing that you shouldn't.
Yeah, but look, until he goes and kills his whole family and then kills himself, Chris Benoit style. So, but regardless, moving on, we'll get to the.
Or he's just naked in a pool like AB.
Yeah, cracker of the day,
or he just starts posting on Twitter. It's okay. It'll be okay.
The Jets. Let's talk about this.
Oh my God,
Davante Adams.
My boy Tay, back with A-Rod, the ayahuasca enthusiast.
They're saying this is the best. This is the best wide receiver core now in the league.
Hard to argue against it.
Dude, the way Alan Lazard's been playing, him as a 3 is a steal. Like
Mike Williams as a 4 is crazy. Now Mike Williams has been bad.
I have no doubt in my mind that Aaron Rodgers went into that locker room and grabbed that grabbed Coach Brick by the chest and said, "Get me Tay now," because the fact that Mike Williams, it was an easy vertical route. Aaron Rodgers had all the time in the world to possibly didn't even scramble. But anyways, this is game time throw. He was on a vertical route. He turns over his opposite shoulder to get this pass. Apparently he ran the wrong route. I don't see it. I see the fact that Mike Williams...
I feel like he did run the wrong route.
Possibly, but he also turned over wrong shoulder, didn't plant his left foot, literally slips, and then causes a pick. I have no doubt in my mind that Aaron Rodgers is like, that should have been a caught ball. Get me fucking Davante Adams. Get me some goddamn receivers. Because...
I mean, ultimately, there was a lot of mistakes during that game. One thing I'm going to say, going back to the Bills, cut off Tyler Bass's leg. Go sign Rodrigo Blankenship.
Dude, that guy's doing fucking, like unboxing videos on TikTok now because he can't get a job.
He's been recreating every kicker's game. Yeah. And being like, since the team won't sign me, I'm just going to do what their fucking kicker can't. Yeah. And he's been recreating every team's, kicking performance throughout the whole season. And he's been drilling every single one of them. Upwind, downwind, throughwind. It does not matter. He's been doing it. He's been killing it. Give Rodrigo Blankenship a job. I don't have a team that in mind. Now, the Bills kind of need a kicker right now. The Giants kind of need a kicker right now.
The Packers.
But I'm not calling for anyone's job
Dude, my
I disagree
Packers
with the
should.
Packers because they have a rookie kicker, right?
Yeah,
And
we had a rookie
Narveson-
kicker last year.
But Narveson's been good, has he not?
He's been all right. He hasn't been great, but
He's been.
He lost us that one
game consistently. But me personally, I think Tyler Bass needs to, find a new home because he can't handle the weather, and you're in fucking Buffalo. I'm sorry, but I know wind is a big issue. Greg Zuerlein couldn't kick either, but
Greg Zuerlein. Back to the Jets
come
though.
on, Tyler, cut his leg off. Cut them both off.
This receiving core with Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and now Garrett Wilson's a bona fide one. He's even better than Ridley. Yes,
Yep.
he's better than
he
Ridley.
is, he is.
Garrett Wilson is a bona fide one. Now having him as
I
a
thought you were gonna say he
two.
was better than Tay. I was gonna say.
No.
Okay, wow.
Honestly, I could see it, but the fact
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Definitely not right now. in my
No,
opinion.
not right now. But the fact that you have a wide receiver, there are a lot of people are comparing this to Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, back in the day when on that 49. I think it was that Jets coach. I think it was Coach Brick. He actually was like, "Yeah, this reminds me of when I was on the 49ers, and there was the Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens." And that's kind of a similar situation that they have in the Jets. But I still think that coaching vacancy, the injuries, Breece Hall hasn't been what everybody thought he was going to be this year.
Okay, well,
Braylon Allen's been very good. I like Braylon Allen has been definitely a good running back second option, but
they're doing. Last game was a bright spot. You add Devontae to last game, they win it by 30.
yeah,
In my opinion.
Devontae Adams catches that ball. He
Yes.
catches that game time ball.
Yes. Can we talk about how Aaron Rodgers is the greatest Hail Mary passer of all time?
Oh fuck yeah, not even
Oh my
close.
God, that was crazy. That was the craziest pass. That was like.
It was right on a dime.
40
It was
years
right on a
old.
dime.
40 years old, retirement age.
And then the Pats 3-14. They lose their last game, but Drake May comes in, balls out.
He started off rough.
Definitely.
No. Yes.
Yeah, he had a
started
little
off
bit of
rough,
start off rough.
But he got into the groove of it. He started throwing those tutties deep. Butte caught a touchdown. DeMario Douglas caught a touchdown.
Douglas got one. Yeah,
So-
it was a good game for the Pats, regardless of the loss. I think they were happy with
Drake
so I think
showed
Jerome
what he
Mayo was
needed to
happy.
show
Yeah.
to keep the job.
No, if this job goes back to Brissett, then
It's definitely not.
then it's worse than what the fucking Steelers are doing. It's definitely Drake May's team now.
Yeah,
But
it was good. I think he showed what he needed to show. Obviously, you don't expect him to go out and play like Jaden Daniels, who's, in my opinion, the MVP. But we'll talk to him. We'll talk about him later. But yeah, that's what I gotta say about that.
Now let's move on to this other division here. I forget which fucking division it is. Got to eye the Ravens at 13-4, and honestly, this is looking pretty good.
The North,
I think it's the AFC North, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah. So the Ravens, 13-4, dude. Derrick Henry's a fucking beast. Still at his age, man.
MVP.
I seriously think he's got a good case for MVP. Definitely my offensive player of the year right now.
Oh, 100%. He has what?
He has a touchdown in every
He's
game, I
on
think.
pace for, I think I read it today, 1,995 yards. 1,995 yards and 26 touchdowns. If that's not MVP worthy, fuck, dude, I don't know. The MVP last year threw for 27 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So if the running back gets 26 and 2K yards, you can't really argue with that.
You're looking at one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah, easily.
I have him top 5 for sure.
Oh.
Top 5.
Top 5?
I've only got a few guys who are above him.
Yeah, I mean, still has lots of football left to play. I
Yeah.
mean, he's definitely going to go down as one of the greatest.
But the Ravens are 4-2
yeah.
right now. But
13-3 is going to be, or 13-4
13-4
is going to be rough to do. But if any team can turn on the Jets,
it's the Ravens.
It's the Ravens.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson's been good. I don't think he's MVP, but he's been definitely
he's been good. But
he's been good. He's been good enough to where
a lot of the load's been taken off of him, which I think is helping the team.
yeah, Zay Flowers has been good.
Yeah, Zay Flowers struggled early in the season.
Yeah, but he's been good the past few weeks.
Yeah, he's
So I like the Ravens at 13-4, but we'll have to see from there. Now I had the Browns at 10-7. I was like you. I was very high on Deshaun going into this year. I thought he was going to turn it up to back to the Houston levels of Deshaun Watson play.
Yeah.
But this guy can't stay in the pocket to save his life.
I mean, I will say this. Lots of football left to be played.
Definitely.
Getting a guy named Nick Chubb back is a huge addition. That guy wins football games. I don't care who the quarterback is. They could give it to Nick Chubb if he's healthy 40 times, and he can win them a game on his own.
And I think Jeudy is
They could get
solid.
to 10 wins.
I think Judy's a solid receiver, and if you put the right quarterback in that system, I think Jeudy can put up 1,000 yards. He did it with the Broncos. Like, I seriously think that Jeudy is better than people thought. I don't like the return. Like, getting only a third-round pick for Amari Cooper is...
I did hear something interesting, though. NIL is making a lot of people stay in college longer. A lot more seniors are getting drafted, which means the draft gets a lot more diluted. So round 3, round 4, you could get a really good guy. So if you're the Browns thinking, okay, NIL is going to push some of these guys back, a lot of the draft gets more diluted, we could get an Amari Cooper in a round 3, round 4, round 5, even round 6.
But when you have the opportunity to get a first-round pick, or maybe not first, but definitely a second for a guy like Amari Cooper, that you go and you get that. Even and then a 7th.
The thing is that the Browns need to think of stuff, right? Amari Cooper obviously wasn't happy, right? They have a guy there that they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars to be arguably the worst quarterback in the league.
Dude, I'd even start a guy like Jacoby Brissett play better than fucking Deshaun's been playing.
I was talking about this last night with a homie of mine.
Guys that are getting
Deshaun
benched.
Watson and Will Levis are arguably within, they're top 40, but they're not starting quarterbacks.
But the thing is, those guys,
a handful of quarterbacks that could start and would be better over both of those guys.
I could name a handful of quarterbacks that are playing as backups right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Joe Flacco, easy starter on the Browns.
Yeah,
why did they let him walk in the first place?
I'd rather Huntley over Will Levis, and I'd rather
Flacco,
even Minshew, Flacco, Russ,
Brissett, Jacoby, fucking Dobbs. I'd even take Josh Dobbs.
Technically,
dude, Zach
Darnold. Technically, a backup because JJ McCarthy,
Zach Wilson,
Andy Dalton, or Bryce Young, whoever.
I don't know about Bryce Young. Bryce Young played fucking bad,
Bryce
dude.
Young with a good O-line.
Dude, Bryce Young was fucking bad, dude.
Bro. We're acting like Bryce Young wasn't put in the worst situation in the NFL.
And then you've got a team like the Steelers who can't even choose between the two of their quarterbacks because they're both fucking good. Like, dude, there's a
hot take about.
I know you're not a believer on Fields, but the thing is, even a guy
I'm a believer in Fields. I think he's been overrated because, okay, I'm gonna say this, right? Caleb Williams comes in. I know he has a lot more weapons than Fields had. But Caleb Williams comes in last week, throws 4 touchdowns. Justin Fields this year has 5 throwing touchdowns.
Yeah.
All year long.
Definitely being carried. But I don't think that when I just looking at it from the outside in, if you're winning football games, you don't make a change. It's just you're winning football games.
That's fair. But then the argument comes back. Okay, so you think Flacco should start over Anthony Richardson?
That's different. He's injured. And honestly, there is an argument for that because you let AR get healthy. You do not bring AR back half healthy to try and resurrect your season when you have Flacco playing like the way he is.
No, but fully healthy.
You let him get fully healthy.
Fully healthy. One of them is losing. One of them is winning. One of them is young and has a future ahead of them. One of them is.
I have a hot take about your team, but we'll get there
right now.
I have a hot take about your team, but
I know what you're gonna say. We're not starting Sam Darnold. Or fucking Sam Howell.
Why, dude? That's the way to go. I think give him a shot. Week 6.
We're
week
injured.
7.
That's it. No, because we're injured. If we're not injured, we're a top 5 team in the NFL. I said it.
Dude, they look good. They looked good those first 3 weeks. They did.
First 4 weeks we looked good. The Lions, we were injured as fuck, and we put up one of the hardest games for the Lions.
You were talking
year.
so much shit on the Lions last year when you guys played. Like, so much shit.
Because the Lions make stupid decisions from time to time.
You were shit talking the Lions, and then they dropped 51 points on fucking or something like that on the. Dude, they were flipping balls to Penei Sewell to score. Like
That's the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was they. Dude, they didn't give a fuck.
Cowboys played like a bottom 5 team.
We'll get to the
They
Lions.
played like an AFL team.
Back to the Browns. I just don't. I don't get the return. That's all. Like I do think they're good.
I understand that, but like they can't get young player. Like who are they going to trade Amari Cooper for? They're not. No one's going to give up a young player for Amari.
Trade
Cooper.
Amari Cooper for a guy like Sam Howell. Like I know the Seahawks
They
don't need
can't do
a
that
three,
though
but
because the Seahawks don't need a receiver, but they can't do that because of the quarterback situation. They let Flacco walk because they wanted their egos to feel good. They can't have the fans screaming at them, "Oh, put Flacco in, put Flacco in, put Sam in, put Sam in." They're already hearing about Jameis being put in. Jameis Winston has been a backup basically his whole career. I love Jameis. I think he should also be starting right now. But they didn't want to have to deal with, okay, this guy's proven. This guy's started all last year, made a run. So they let him walk. They're not going to go and trade a quarterback for a receiver. Like, I don't know.
I just think if they lose this week, like if they lose and they get blown out, then there has to be something done.
They'll win this week only because Nick Chubb is back.
Is Nick Chubb back?
Yes.
Bet. Got him on my fantasy team.
Me as well.
But regardless, if the Jets go in, or not the Jets, sorry, if the Browns go in and they lose to the Bengals, which they probably will,
I'll say this: the Bengals have been shit, but if any week they were going to go out and play like primetime Bengals, it's this week.
Yeah. Moving on to the Steelers, we talked a little bit about Justin Fields and the Russell Wilson situation. Russell Wilson has been named the starter coming up this Sunday. I hate it. We disagree on this. But I only disagree because not that I don't think Russ will play well. It's just when you're winning football games, you do not do something like that. If you lose this week, then you can start Russ. If you lose this week with Justin Fields, you get possibly blown out.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? If you're Tomlin, you have a guy that you named captain, you named starter at the very start of the season. He gets hurt. Okay, you managed to win 4 out of 6 games. 3 of those games were one possession. They were very close. You barely got out of it, largely because of your defense. Yes, Justin Fields has been good at not turning the ball over, but he has the same amount of rushing touchdowns as passing touchdowns, and I don't know. I just think, it's like, do you go with a guy that's an experienced passer that can get the guys the ball and let the skill players do the work? Or are you going to go with a young guy that is risking his health every week because he's trying to run it down the throats of defenses and possibly ruin your future because you're winning a couple football games?
I think they should have, but the thing is, not that it's not like a detrimental. Like if they lose this week, I think they go back to Fields. I think that's just the way they go. But they are playing the Jets on Monday Night Football, so how things go, especially with that team now having Devontae Adams, could they're probably going to lose. I don't know. If I'm blowing on a money line, I'm picking the Jets. Because I think
not a game I'm betting on.
It's definitely
that's a messy game.
Definitely going to be a low scoring one for sure.
I disagree.
Really, you think it's gonna be? You think both?
Would not be surprised if it's like 33-28.
Who knows?
Najee might rush for 3 touchdowns.
Dude, Najee has what, 1 touchdown on the year?
Bro, Najee was really good last week.
Yeah, I think that was the only week he had a touchdown. His
and you know why that is?
Well, because of Justin Fields. His running. When they're in the red zone, are they going to give it to Justin Fields just to run it in? They're going to fucking actually put Najee Harris on. I think Najee Harris could use a different change of scenery. Possibly the Cowboys maybe making a move. The fact that Jerry Jones is going out and saying that they're not
going to be active is crazy to me. You have pieces to trade.
You can go get a guy like Najee, even Jaylen Warren. You could go get a guy that has rushed for 1,000 yards, maybe one.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them that
are sitting on their couch right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that are backing up.
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell. He'd probably be better than fucking Zeke right now, dude. It's like, Come on, guys. What are we doing?
Regardless, we'll get to the Cowboys in a bit. Moving on to the Bengals, 8-9. Actually, I had the Steelers 11-6, and they're what?
4-2.
They're 4-2.
So that's possible.
It's possible.
I think they lean more to. Actually, I could see them 11-6. Russ, if Russ does one thing, it's win games. He knows how to game manage. He knows how to manage games.
Bengals. I have the Bengals at 8, or I had the Bengals at 8-9. That is not looking good, man.
No, that's hitting for you.
Well, maybe
That is honestly hitting for you.
they're 2-4. So
This just proved how much Joe Mixon actually meant to that team. I said this all last year. Losing Joe Mixon and not being able to replace him with anyone is very upset. Like, yeah, Zach Moss looked good for the Colts. The Colts are by far a better team.
and
By far
Shane
better O-line.
Steichen knows how to manage his running backs.
He knows how to play them.
Yeah, and when you take
He has Trey Sermon looking really good.
Exactly. So when you take somebody out of that system and you put them on the Bengals, like, and then their defense has been what, fucking awful. Like, Joe Burrow balls out, has a game. No, he balled out.
Well,
And they still lost.
I mean, it's just like at this point, what can you do?
What do they do? What can the Bengals do? Do they fire their coach? Like, I think Zach Taylor is the worst play caller in the league right now.
Oh wow!
I do.
Really?
I seriously, I do think he is one of the worst play callers in the league right now. That's a head coach. It's sad. It's sad because you have a guy like Jamar Chase. You have T. Higgins. Why are you making them run these fucking like shit routes? Like I don't get it.
I don't know. I think it's an O-line issue. I think it's the inability to run the ball issue. When there's a debate on who should start between Chase Brown and Zach Moss as your starting running back one,
like I'm sorry. When you have Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins, and you're on like 3rd and fucking 3, or you're on like it's the last play of the game. You need a fucking deep ball. Why are you running it up the middle with Zach Moss? Why? Just why? Zach Moss is not that guy. You have 2 fucking all-pro receivers. You have a quarterback that's thrown for 520 yards in a game before. Why are you running it up the middle with Zach fucking Moss, who lost his job to Jonathan Taylor last year, who was glazed by fucking made look good by Shane Steichen? I don't get it. I don't get why they're running it up the middle with a guy who's fucking like not that good. Like
what I don't understand is Kareem Hunt was sitting on his couch for 5 weeks. And no one decided to give him a call. Not the Cowboys, not the Bengals, not the Giants. And then he goes out for the Chiefs 2 weeks in a row and performs like he might be the greatest running back in the league right now.
Literally.
And you just letting that sit on the couch. Like, it's crazy.
And there's more. There's more running backs out there that could be balling out right now that are backing up others in the league or are sitting on the couch.
I'll be honest, like, I love Zach Charbonnet. Like,
I do.
Why would you not
honestly,
try and trade for him? I know the Seahawks probably wouldn't because Zach Charbonnet's a dog, but
he played like very well when Kenneth Walker was out.
Yeah.
Like now that Kenneth Walker's back, obviously he's not getting the touches that he used to get. But the thing is, he could be an easy one on a team like the Bengals.
Yeah,
It's
easily.
It's tough.
Try and trade.
And then you have a team like the Texans that have 3 running backs. 2 of them get injured.
Wow.
Cam Akers comes literally off of a 1-year deal and balls out and gets traded to the Vikings. Like,
yeah. So I don't know, but that's my frustration with it. Just like so many good talent out there, and you refuse to even touch it.
Speaking of the Texans, 12-5, I had them at. They're balling out. Nico Collins, before he got injured, was looking like prime Jerry Rice. Like,
he was looking good, but the crazy part is they still look fucking good. Stephon Diggs is just still proving that he's a one.
Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell is proving
even
after getting shot. Guy gets shot, comes back, is gonna put up 1,000 yards. Like,
yeah.
And then Joe Mixon, probably a top 5 running back in the league this year.
Joe Mixon literally
has been.
Literally looks like the best running back in the NFL.
No running back that's not named Derrick Henry is better than Joe Mixon this year.
Yeah. And even when Joe Mixon plays a full healthy game, he's arguably looked better than Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Or on the exact same as Derrick Henry. So
he balled out for the first. He did obviously have a tinkering with a little injury, but now that he's back, balled out last week, had a receiving touchdown. Hip drop tackle, man. It's 12-5 for the Texans, definitely achievable. They play a tough matchup with the Green Bay this week.
Yeah, I think they go 13-4.
13
because they're gonna win against Green Bay.
Will Anderson's looking like a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
Oh, for sure.
I
was saying his praises all last year. So.
Now moving on to the Jaguars, 9-8. I had them at. They have been fucking abysmal.
Ass!
Besides Zach Taylor,
I'd be surprised if they get 6 wins.
Their offensive coordinator needs to be fired. I do still have faith in Doug Peterson.
No. Doug Peterson needs to be fired.
This
guy brought in a whole new culture, has been there, and then said...
The culture needs to change.
We need to change the culture. You brought the culture in! You're basically saying you need to fire yourself because you are the one that made this culture. How are you saying your own culture needs to change?
Yeah, he needs to... If that coaching staff, if there's being a change, they all have to go.
Also, fuck Doug Peterson. I don't call for jobs. I don't like to say, fire this guy. Doug Peterson, I hope you never get an NFL coaching job. I hope they cut off your hands so you can't hold a clipboard. I hope you are condemned to fucking North Korea because you are the worst fucking coach in the NFL. Yes, I said it. You are the worst coach in the NFL. You are the worst fucking person in charge in the NFL. And that's over Jerry Jones.
Just to get in depth with it a little bit, this team on defense is they see that they're versing a team like who did they play last week? Just for example, they played the Bears, for example. Okay, you have two All-Pro receivers, okay, and a quick guy like Rome Odunze, okay, the running man coverage. Why are you running man coverage against 3 All-Pro receivers? Why? Keenan Allen easily beats the man coverage on a slant, gets a dime and a touchdown. Caleb Williams, yes, he balled out, but that defensive coverage is fucking awful. Why are you running man coverage when you have a wide receiver core like that? Against the Bengals, man coverage against Jamar Chase. What are you doing?
My question is, why the fuck do you go to the media and say ETN is our guy, we're starting him, and then you fucking give him 3 carries in the first 3 quarters, and then you injure him? Fire, honestly, sell the team. Make them the Oakland Athletics.
The one bright spot, which you weren't very high on him, I don't think I was very high on him either in the offseason. Brian Thomas Jr. has been balling for a team like that.
He's been good.
He's been very good for a bad team. Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis can't get along to save their lives. Trevor Lawrence and Gabe Davis can't get along with anybody on the Jaguars. They've had some problems, but Brian Thomas Jr. has balled out for a rookie wide receiver. Probably the best rookie wide receiver this year, honestly.
No. Hell no.
Marv's fell off a little bit.
Neighbors? Hello?
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. Neighbors
definitely was the best wide receiver in the league.
But besides Neighbors, he's definitely been... Dunze hasn't done much.
No, yeah, probably.
Worthy had a really good game 1. Didn't really play much.
You're biased with Worthy because you have him on fantasy.
Yes.
Worthy has not been as good as people saying.
No. He definitely fell off a little bit. But yeah, he's been definitely one of the top 3 rookie wide receivers this year, Brian Thomas Jr. So, shout out. Ladd McConkey's been pretty good for the Chargers, honestly.
He hasn't been bad.
He's been better than Worthy, I would say. I thought Worthy would take a step up with Rice being gone for the year, but
a lot of people did. I was like, no, there's no way because they're completely different. I was like, if anything, Rashee Rice going down helps Kelsey because they're both playing at the line of scrimmage and getting the rack.
Yeah,
Worthy is the downfield threat.
Yeah, but the thing is, Worthy can't...
They have been going to him short on the handoffs. He's been playing running back a little bit more than...
He gets swallowed up in cover 2. He can't...
He's slithery.
Yeah. But the only way you get Worthy the ball for a long, deep threat is if it's man coverage. He's been getting swallowed up in cover 2. He's been getting swallowed up in Tampa 2. He can't he can't run downfield on his own. It's just, but regardless, Brian Thomas Jr. has been pretty good. Now moving on to the Colts, I had the Colts 9-8. Losing AR was big.
That could happen.
I think they're a 9-8. They've been a 9-8 team for God knows how, like last 5 years. Like the Colts have never been bad, like really bad.
Well,
since before like the Andrew Luck days, they haven't been like really bad for a while.
yeah, they've always been mediocre.
Yeah, a 9-8 team. 9-8 team. They are
8-8, 9-8.
Yeah, they're what 3-3 right now. Yeah, the Colts are 3-3, so 9-8 is definitely possible. I think that they're going to be just hovering around 500, fighting for a playoff spot. The Titans 6-11. You want to go on your rant about Will Levis here?
Yeah, literally bottom 40 quarterback. I mean, this guy has been
Just
ass. I
fucking
mean,
awful.
there's countless quarterbacks I would prefer.
I prefer Mason Rudolph, honestly.
You give him so many weapons. It's just like, come on, guys.
And then they play the Bills this week. Like,
I agree with Calvin Ridley said. Calvin Ridley said, if you don't get him open, if you don't get him the ball early, there's no chance for him to get the ball late. Okay? If you get Calvin Ridley the ball early, first possession, crossers, slants, screens, anything to get Calvin Ridley the ball, you're winning games. You don't do that, and you're where you are right now. Because you do not have receiver. You get Calvin Ridley the ball early, it opens D-Hop late. It opens Pollard's run game even more. Pollard has been the only bright spot on this team offensively. So, you need to get Ridley the ball early. The earlier you get Ridley the ball, the more open the offense becomes. That's all I'm going to say. I think 6-11 is accurate.
they have no chance against the Bills this week.
Based off how they started. I mean, they have a slim chance. I'm not gonna bet on the Bills this week. I think it's a high-scoring game. I don't think it's a grinded-out game like a lot of people are saying. I think it's a high-scoring game. I think Ridley does get a couple touchdowns this week because if Ridley doesn't, he might be the next receiver traded.
Yeah, I think that Mari Cooper's going to ball out for the Bills this week.
I was high on the Titans too because they got everyone that they needed to get. They got Ridley, they got D-Hop, they got Pollard, they got all these weapons for Will Levis to eat. I was like, if this is the year Will Levis is going to break out, if there was any year he breaks out, it's this year. Hasn't really done that. So, but there is a chance they win this week if they get him the ball early. That's what I'm going to say.
Moving on to the Chiefs here, 5-0 they are so far this week, or so far this season. I had them at 12-5. So I still have them losing 5 games.
Really?
They're gonna have to. I think they've got a tough schedule coming up. I think they're gonna lose in those grind type of games. The games against the Steelers, the games against the Broncos, the games that the
Broncos.
Dude, they got smacked by the Broncos last year.
Yeah, but
I seriously think they're not gonna be able to.
They're better this year.
I don't think so, man.
100% they're better.
Honestly, I don't know.
Mahomes hasn't been playing good, and they're 5-0. Kareem Hunt has been.
I think losing Pacheco and losing Rice is big.
Losing Rice is big. I think losing Pacheco with Kareem Hunt isn't that big of an issue.
I don't think Kareem Hunt's going to be able to hold this type of performance up. I don't see it.
I think he is.
Is Kelsey back to his form?
Oh, yeah.
Slow start to the year, obviously, but...
That's literally just because of Rashi. That was the only thing.
That's the only thing that brought him back?
Now that Rashi's gone, Kelsey's getting all that work that Rashi got. He's about to go for 150 this week. Mark my words. Next week, when we're back, because we will be back, he's gonna come back and he's gonna go for 150.
He baited everybody though, because the week after Rashee Rice got injured, everyone was betting on him. Betting like 2+ touchdowns. Betting freaking.
No touchdowns, but
he put up some yards. But so the Chiefs look good. The Raiders, I have them at 7-10. I thought they were going to be a little bit more mid.
I mean,
They look like
Christian
a 7 out of 10
Wilkins
team.
and Max. Like the defense, I mean, is there.
But they're that type of team where you play them and it's a
And
grind,
I thought
low-scoring.
Minshew was gonna play like he played for the Colts, but he's playing. 3 picks on the day. One of them is his boogers. So
And then you lose Devontae Adams, and you have Jacoby Myers who's injured.
yeah, I was trying to trade.
Dude, why? Who let Hunter Renfrow walk? Because time to bring him back.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Who are some receivers they could go get right now that are sitting on their couch?
on their couch? I don't know, but
There's got to be someone on their couch right now that they could go.
they could just
snag
go
for
out
the
and
first
grab.
team.
I'm honestly I'm not sure. They're big on the Hassan Reddick talks.
Fuck
Possibly.
that, dude. You need offense. Are they
Hassan
gonna
Reddick
trade
could be
Max
that guy.
Crosby to the Detroit Lions?
Dude, that's such big talk, but I don't think so.
I mean, Max Crosby is like a Raider guy, but
Michael Thomas is on the couch.
yeah, go get fucking Michael Thomas. You need someone in the slants.
Yeah, Michael Thomas is on the couch.
Michael Thomas.
Hunter Renfro's on the couch.
Yeah, but does Hunter Renfrow still have it? How old is he?
Julio Jones is on the couch.
No, Julio's washed.
Go get Mike Williams from the Jets. He's a wide receiver 4 now.
That could be something. But yeah.
The
Honestly,
Raiders definitely underwhelming for the year.
Michael Thomas. I mean, Juju was on his couch. You should have got Juju.
Juju's back to playing like fucking Juju, man.
I mean,
Another
he
bright
had no
spot for the
quarterback
Chiefs.
on the fucking Patriots.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I had Broncos at 4-13. They are what 1-3, 1-2,
2-3, I think.
2-3. See, Broncos, they only got to lose 2 more games. they got to win 2 more games, and they gotta lose out.
I mean, Bo Nix has looked better than a lot of people thought.
I'm still low on Bo Nix. I still think he's going to be the worst quarterback out of that
their
class.
defense has been carrying them.
For sure. They've been that
they're
grinded
about to
out
lose
kind
to
of
the
team.
Saints. I'm sure we're doing our picks for this week,
Ye-
saying who's gonna win.
Oh, probably. We'll hammer through them. We got
Yeah.
We've already spent a lot of time here, but we'll go one by one and just start naming off fucking teams. So, but regardless, I think the Broncos their run game has been awful. Bo Nix hasn't
Javonte
been bad.
hasn't been the same, but Bo Nix needs more weapons. I think Cortland Sutton is good,
Yeah, Cortland Sutton's been playing all right.
and he's been the only thing good about that offense realistically.
But
at least the receivers.
Bo Nix,
they
a
lose
lot of
Tim
people,
Patrick.
a lot of people are concerned about Bo
Jerry.
Nix's long throw, his medium to long throw accuracy. He's been good on the short ball, but it's been tough when it cuts to medium long range, 20 plus yards. He hasn't been able to hit people in their hands. Cortland Sutton was open on a dig route and he got completely missed him.
Yeah, it'll come. I'm not too worried about Bo Nix.
I'm concerned about. I think Bo Nix is going to be a backup eventually. I don't think he's going to be that starting guy that everyone thinks he's going to be. I've been low on Bo Nix for all this time. I don't know. Besides Spencer Rattler, I think he's going to be the worst.
Come on, Spencer's my guy.
The albino Patrick Mahomes. People are calling him.
GOAT.
Speaking of
The GOAT.
new coaching changes, the Chargers,
Somehow
6-11. I had them at. They have been balling. J.K. Dobbins has been back to.
6-11. I think I
Dude.
said 9-8 for the Chargers, which I feel like is accurate.
I think that's a little bit more close than what I was getting to. They play the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. They're 3-2 right now, so.
Yeah, I mean J.K. Dobbins has been great. Only thing that could make them better is having receivers.
Yeah, I think,
Once
but
again,
even Quentin Johnston hasn't been that. Everyone was like, "Yo, he's the worst receiver in the league last year."
Yeah, you just first year jitters, I guess. But yeah, honestly, they're in a very similar situation to where
I thought Josh Palmer was going to be the guy on the Chargers. I really did, but
Josh Palmer carried me in fantasy that one year.
yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I mean, it's like
It's tough. Jim Harbaugh's definitely had that Jim Harbaugh effect.
Michael Thomas, and you're good. All he needs to do is stay healthy.
You just want to get Michael Thomas signed.
Yeah. If Michael Thomas gets signed within the next couple weeks, it's It's because of us.
The Cowboys I had at 11-6. They've been 12-5 for what, like 3 straight years now.
The Cowboys at 11-6.
This year's
That's
looking
fair.
a little bit different. They are
I think I said 12-5 because I wasn't gonna go against that.
They are on a bye this week. They're 3-3, and they play San Francisco next week. So they have a tough schedule coming up. And
Sounding crazy, but they're gonna beat San Fran.
they are refusing to make changes, and that is a problem. A lot of people are calling for Mike McCarthy's head.
A lot of people are calling for Jerry Jones' head.
CD is not looking happy.
Well, they have a bye week. So
Brandon
maybe,
Cooks is injured. Can they get it together over the bye week? Who knows?
I don't know.
But that team is definitely up in the air. But they could get to 11-6, but I don't know. They have to win a lot of games. The Eagles, 10-7. I had them at. They are currently at 3-2. Saquon's been that guy. I think he's been behind Joe Mixon and Derrick Henry. He's been a top 5 running back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been calling for Jalen Hurts to be possibly benched. I don't know.
That. I've never heard. I don't know what you're talking
Dude,
about.
Jalen Hurts has been underwhelming for Jalen Hurts standards for sure.
He hasn't been bad.
A lot.
I don't think he's been bad.
He's been bad. He's been pretty
I
bad.
don't think he's been bad.
He was definitely missing, but he was missing both of his receivers, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, both dealing with injuries this year.
He had like 2 games where he didn't throw for 200 yards.
I think he's first in fumbles. I think for quarterbacks.
Nah,
Has to be.
no way.
Definitely. He's definitely first in fumbles this year. Like, he's fumbled the ball way too many times.
He has 5 fumbles.
That's a lot. In 6 weeks, dude? That's a lot.
5 weeks because they had to bye.
Yeah. 5 fumbles in 5 weeks.
But this guy has been not awful. He lost half of his team to injury. His wide receiver 1 was fucking.
But he's been underwhelming for Jalen Hurts. When people
Jahan Dotson was his wide receiver 1 for like a solid 2 weeks.
Well, people had him in the MVP People had him in the likes of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Well,
He's definitely solidified himself as one of the mid-more quarterbacks.
Last week, they were back. The team was healthy. He had 264, 2 touchdowns, no picks.
I can name you 8 quarterbacks I'd rather have. You want Patrick Mahomes,
Okay.
Joe Burrow. I'd rather have Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
Jordan Love.
No, fuck no.
Yes.
Fuck no.
This year,
Fuck no.
Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud,
Fuck no.
Jaden Daniels, and who else?
Jaden, and I'll give you CJ.
Jordan Love. Come on.
No, I'm not giving you Jordan Love.
Dude, Jordan Love's been balling, dude.
No, bro.
And Josh Allen. Like,
No. That's not 8.
yes, it is. What are you talking about? Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels.
Not Jordan Love.
Dude, Jordan Love, Jared Goff.
Why would you want Jordan Love?
And Brock Purdy. And if not Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's balled out this year,
nah,
dude.
you're trolling.
Dude, Sam Darnold's the guy.
This is an 8 out of 10 rage bait.
No.
This is 8 out of 10 rage bait.
Give me Trevor Lawrence. No,
Yeah,
but
bro.
Jalen Hurts has been underwhelming for
This
Jalen
guy's
Hurts
gonna say he
standards.
wants Malik Willis next. Packers fan, fucking.
Dude, Malik Willis balled out. He should be on the fucking Dolphins right now, dude.
If
Balling.
Malik Willis was on the Dolphins, he'd be a top 10 running.
Literally. Dude, should be on the Browns, bro. Like, come on. He should be starting over Deshaun Watson. Speaking of which...
You know what? I read a crazy stat that Deshaun Watson, since joining the Browns, has more lawsuits settled than touchdowns thrown.
Literally.
He has 24 lawsuits settled and 19 passes thrown.
Speaking of bad quarterbacks, let's move on to the Giants here. First few...
Hey! Don't talk about my Danny Dimes like that.
Dude, first three weeks of the season, people were calling for his head. He's been solid the past 2 weeks.
You know what's crazy? First 3 weeks, he produced the greatest wide receiver 1 of all time. Rookie wide receiver 1 of all time.
And still played like ass.
And still played like ass. And the past 3 weeks, he hasn't had a wide receiver 1.
And he's played solid.
good.
Yeah, it's been weird. Definitely up and down for the Giants. I had them at 5.
But also, Tyrone Tracy has turned into prime fucking
They're 2-4 right now.
Fucking
I had them at
yeah.
5-12. That's definitely achievable. Probably going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
They're definitely a 5-12 team. Now, here's one that's been a surprise: the Washington Commanders. I had them at 6-11.
MVP!
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, the MVP.
Dude, Brian Thomas Jr. has been amazing. Terry McLaurin's been good.
Speaking of MVP, I need to pee. I'll be back.
What? He's just going to walk out on us like that?
Talk about how good Jaden Daniels is.
Guy leaves literally mid-podcast for bathroom break. But do you know what? Speaking of which, we'll get into my segment. So we're each going to have a segment. My segment being players who have been very surprising, players who I think have been easily top 10 players that weren't expected to be. So first, we got to state the obvious. Sam Darnold for the Vikings has been, if not a top 5 quarterback, definitely top 10. He's brought hope to this team that had none, considering obviously J.J. McCarthy is supposed to be the starter, gets injured in the preseason. Sam Darnold comes in, carries his team. Justin Jefferson easily going to have a 1,500-yard season. He's had like over a 100 passing rating for the past like 5 weeks. Besides the one game, he had a mediocre game against the Jets. Sam Darnold and the Jets always don't mix well. But before that, against Green Bay, has 3 touchdowns for 1 interception. Balls out against Houston for 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 119 passer rating. And then throws 268 yards against the San Francisco 49ers for two tutties and 109 passer rating, man. Sam Darnold's the guy. Sam Darnold should have a starting job next year. If he doesn't, there's going to be a problem. Definitely the most improved player this year. Moving on to surprises, I had the Commanders at 6-11. Jaden Daniels, definitely surprising. I'm doing my surprises now that he's coming back in.
I'm the most valuable peer.
I'm doing my segment of players who have been surprising. I was just talking about Sam Darnold. Only has like 3 picks on the year through 5 weeks, undefeated. No, I was just talking about Jaden Daniels. Definitely surprising.
The MVP?
Yeah, possibly in the MVP race. Definitely.
Who are you voting right now over Jaden Daniels for MVP?
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Like
quarterback-wise, because it's a quarterback award.
It shouldn't be a quarterback award.
No, but
right now, C.J. Stroud.
Shut the fuck up. No.
Yes.
No.
Dude, C.J. Stroud's been balling.
What's C.J. Stroud's record?
Okay, he's 4-1.
Okay, what's Jaden Daniels' record?
4-2.
Who's had better stats?
C.J. Stroud.
Cat.
Definitely been.
Who's had a better season so far with the team they have? Jaden Daniels. Dude,
Nico Collins is playing like Jerry Rice, dude. Prime Jerry Rice.
Exactly, he has better weapons. Jaden Daniels is making Terry McLaurin look like fucking prime Megatron.
Like I said, I love me some Jaden Daniels. I don't think he's MVP. Definitely offensive rookie of the year. He may be fighting over that with Malik Neighbors, but definitely been surprised. Other surprises that we got to go
Jaden Daniels has 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 picks, okay? Not including rushing, okay? That's just passing, okay? C.J. Stroud has...
Can I finish my segment?
Bear with me.
I want to finish my segment.
Bear with me.
Because I want to move on to Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. Been amazing as well. He's in the MVP convo for sure. I mean, he's had a bad last 2 weeks, but I think he threw like 4 picks last week.
Bear with me.
This guy's still trying to search up stats. I'm moving on to Tampa Bay. I'm moving on to Baker Mayfield. Everyone's had him as...
okay. So what did I say Jaden Daniels had?
I don't know.
14, 6, and 2?
Yeah.
And CJ has 15, 10, and 4. Okay? But Jaden Daniels also has like 400 yards rushing. He has like 4 rushing touchdowns.
Look, the season's not over yet. Sam Darnold's possibly an MVP conversation. He was before last week. Last week he had a rough week against the Jets.
Sam Darnold is also an MVP, but he's not the MVP. It's Jaden Daniels.
Moving on to Tampa Bay, I want to talk about Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, the fucking GOAT.
The most likable quarterback in the league, literally.
What?
Dude, no one disrespects my baby like that.
Your baby.
Yeah,
Hey,
Baker
yeah.
Mayfield's the guy.
He
if I wasn't
is
a
very
Packer fan,
likable. I
I'd be a
think
Bucs
Jameis
fan.
Winston is the most likable quarterback in the league, though. Met him
He's not
personally.
even on a team. He's not even starting.
But and you didn't say starting quarterback. You just said quarterback.
Regardless, I think Baker Mayfield's been one of the better surprises so far this NFL season.
I mean, is it a surprise after what he did last season?
I think so, because he did play well, but he didn't play this well last year.
That's fair.
But regardless, he's been carrying that Tampa Bay team on his back. And then I talked already about Brian Thomas Jr. being one of the better surprises as well. So that finishes up my segment. You want to go into your disappointments?
Yeah.
So we'll finish the rest of the records.
Yeah. So basically, the fucking disappointments. The entire fucking Seattle Seahawks team since week 4. I'm a Seahawks fan.
So far this season,
I'm a
total.
Seahawks fan. We had a great start. I wasn't mad at the Lions game because I was like, okay, you know what? We put up a fight. We were very injured. But losing to the Giants, guys, come on. The Giants are easily one of the worst teams in the league. And they didn't have neighbors either. And we were so close. They blocked a field goal to tie the game, and then they took it and scored, and it was bad. But Seahawks team been kind of disappointing just the past couple weeks. I do think the Seahawks win again. Another disappointment, the Jaguars entire team, obviously. Mainly ETN. ETN's been very bad. I don't know if that's a coaching issue, probably. But just that whole offense really has been struggling, and it hasn't been good. I'm sure you can agree with me on this.
Oh, what, the Jags? Yeah,
Yeah.
awful. They cannot defend man coverage. Like, I don't know why they're running man coverage against top receivers in the league. It's frustrating to watch for sure.
I'll say, you know what? This might be a hot take, but I think Dolphins. Very disappointing season. I know it's hard to say it's disappointing, but it's injuries. Like, injuries are disappointing. It's okay.
Are we able to call, like, Breece Hall disappointing? Like, he's been disappointing.
I won't say Breece Hall's disappointing because he has done, like, he just had he had a few bad weeks. Last week he was really good, so I'm not gonna say he was disappointing.
Cowboys disappointing.
Cowboys as a whole. Jerry Jones. I'll say Jerry Jones has been disappointing. Because he needs to make moves. He needs to do what he needs to do to win. And he is not doing any of that right now. So I'll say so Jerry Jones is disappointing me.
Doing this off the top of your head. Honestly, I think that the Raiders.
I'll say
Raiders
this,
have been
the
disappointing.
Bengals.
Yes. I mean, they're always disappointing. Everyone always overrates
At the start
the
of the
Bengals.
season, they are always disappointing.
Everybody always overrates the Bengals for
Yeah,
some reason.
I'll say this. So far, Amari Cooper has been disappointing. Leads the league in drops, obviously. Colts, I know they're 3-3. I know they're second in the division, but they have been disappointing.
Michael Pittman Jr. has been one of the most disappointing receivers
Michael Pittman
in
has
this
been
league.
disappointing.
Like,
I don't
really
think to
disappointing.
His
George Pickens.
fault entirely.
George Pickens has been disappointing.
I won't say
think.
George Pickens is disappointing.
The guy's not even running his own routes anymore. He's
No.
He's literally walking
That's
his
your
route.
opinion.
George Pickens is such a diva,
The
man.
past 4 weeks, the Saints have been disappointing. The first 2 weeks, they look like the best team in football. Derek Carr looked like prime Aaron Rodgers. But
Dude, Taysom
since
Hill was
then-
on a fucking roll before his injury.
since then, they've been injured, banged up. I think going into the Thursday night game tonight, Olave's not playing, who he's been disappointing as well.
Yeah, he's probably done for the year.
Rashid Shaheed's not playing.
Sheet's not playing?
Nope.
Why?
Taysom Hill's not playing.
Yo, Shaheed, I'm pretty sure is
Carr's
playing.
not playing. He's not playing. I'm telling you. Breaking news. I'm not an insider, but I'm insider, if you know what I'm saying. But, who else? I'll say this. You're going to hate this. The Packers have been disappointing. I know they're winning. I know they have a 4-2 record.
Yeah, Sheen's not playing.
I know, they squeezed out shit with Malik, but the Packers have been disappointing. And the only reason I'm going to say that is because they are making stupid mistakes. Josh Jacobs not getting the ball is a stupid mistake. That's a disappointing mistake. Dobbs getting suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. That is fucking disappointing. Fucking Jaden Reed going on a monitor on St. Brown's podcast and talking shit and then fucking getting outplayed by Dobbs after getting suspended. That is fucking disappointing. So shit like that is disappointing. One of the biggest disappointments. The Rams. I know they have a lot of injuries.
Sad. That would have been upsetting.
But you're last in a division that you shouldn't be last in. As a Seahawks fan, they should probably be second. I know they lost a lot of guys, but it's just their season has been disappointing so far.
Dude, my team in your league is ridiculous, dude. My team is insane.
You suck.
Dude, Nick Chubb's coming back. I'm going to fucking wipe the floor with everybody, dude.
Suck. What do you want for Nick Chubb?
Nothing.
We'll talk about this later. That's going to wrap it up. I think the overall...
Dude, the NFL has been wild this year.
It's been disappointing. The NFL has been exciting, but a lot of teams have been disappointing. A lot of teams have been exciting.
Let's smack out the rest of these records, and then we'll move on to our picks for next week. So let's move on to the Lions, man. I had them at 12-5. They're a 12-5 team. They possibly a 13-4 team.
No, they're not a 13-4 team.
Dude, they were doing some crazy ass shit last week against the Cowboys.
Call me crazy, but the 49ers are going to end third in the division.
I could see that happening, man. I could see that happening, but
and miss playoffs. Oh my God, could you imagine if the Niners miss playoffs?
Dude,
the Seahawks need to get their shit together, though.
They have a chance in that division for sure. But the Lions at 12-5, they were fucking toying on the Cowboys' head. They lose Aiden Hutchinson, which is huge. That's
okay. They're gonna get Max Crosby. That's disappointing,
dude. But that leg break was definitely gruesome. Wish him all the best in his recovery. Yeah, you hear it when you watch the clip. It was definitely a loss.
Hey, if you're gonna go out one way, getting a sack is a badass way to go out.
Dude, he was on depoy. He was depoy for sure.
No, fuck no.
Yes, he was, dude.
No, he wasn't close to depoy.
He was depoy this year. I will stand on business and say he was depoy this year.
Not even close. And I love Hutch, Michigan guy, but he was not close to depoy.
He was depoy. Green Bay 11-6. I think that's achievable for Green Bay. Honestly,
I think they go Nah, because they haven't.
It's the best division yet? It's the best division in football.
It is. And you guys aren't beating the Commanders twice or once.
Dude, we beat the Cardinals on their dome last week.
Yeah, the Cardinals. The fucking Cardinals.
The week before.
Did you hear what you just said? We beat the Cardinals on their fucking dome.
Well, we've been
Cardinals.
We've been undefeated since Jordan Love's been back.
Without Marvin Harrison.
Jordan Love's been
mid.
Jordan Love's we haven't lost since he came back. So we've definitely got a tough matchup this week against the Texans.
Yeah, that's a loss.
I wouldn't count them out, man.
I'm counting them out. I'm betting on the Texans this week.
Do it.
I'm doing it.
I want you to lose your money.
I'm putting a band on the Texans.
$1,000 money line.
Yep.
All right, bet. All right.
I'm betting on Diggs 2 touchdowns. I'm betting on a Mixon over 50 receiving yards. And I'm betting on Texans money line.
Dude, Xavier McKinney's been fucking balling this year, though.
Doesn't matter.
Dude, he's literally got like 5 picks on the year.
Doesn't matter.
Moving on to the Vikings, I had them at 6-11. They're 5-0.
Yeah, so
They have to lose 11 straight games.
Yep, they have to win one of their next 12. You're fucked.
But do you know what? The thing is these in this division, the NFC North, I love, as much as I shouldn't because they're division rivals, I love all 3 of the other teams.
Oh, fuck no.
Dude, I love that Lions team. I love Dan Campbell. I love what they're doing over there in Detroit. Chicago.
Imagine the
Caleb,
Lions. Like, the Lions have a very real possibility of either winning the division or losing the division.
yeah,
Like, that's how
that
crazy
division is such a
is.
toss-up. I love what the Vikings. I love Jefferson. I love what they're doing in the Vikings. Chicago, Caleb Williams
Aaron
has been
Jones
balling
has
out.
looked amazing.
Yeah, dude, I can't hate on any of these other teams. They just been playing some good ass football. Fuck the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the team the most out of any team in the NFL. Fuck the Cowboys.
we know this.
I love the NFC North. So all these teams, Chicago. I have Chicago at 12-5. I had high hopes for them going into this year. They've been but I think
They
Caleb's
will
found.
get 12-5, I think.
I think he's
That
found
whole-
his stride. So they may move up to that 12-5 team.
Keenan Allen's now involved, which is nice to see.
Yeah, he had a big game. Two touchdowns last week.
It's Chicago.
It's Chicago. The Bears. Moving on to Tampa Bay. 10-7 I had them at. I don't know, man. I don't know about this Tampa team. Like, they're either mid. They're just mid. Like, they play like they're amazing, but they're mid. Like, sorry. we heard some shit.
Honestly, they could go 11 wins, 6 losses. I think that's where I had them, 11-6.
They're 4-2 right now. They play the Ravens this week, so that's already a loss. But who knows? Maybe they put up a fight.
Malik Neighbors should play this week,
Yeah. So
hopefully.
who knows?
This guy has a concussion and was going to a concert. Fucking dumbass.
I had the Falcons at 8-9. Kirk O'Chains, man. It's Kirk
500-yard game against the Bucks. I mean,
That dude, he balled out.
I think I was.
And they
right.
almost lost.
I think I said that was crazy for you because why, after getting Kirk, would they be worse?
But they're 4-2, and they play the Seahawks this week. So
Which is a loss, realistically.
I don't know, man. I think
No, come on.
dude.
Come on, dude. The Seahawks have a chip on their shoulder.
We got to bet against each other right now.
We've lost 3 in a row.
I'll bet you $10.
You think?
If the Seahawks lose, you owe me $10.
Yeah. Because the Seahawks aren't losing.
All right, we just shook hands on it. It's a bet.
The Seahawks aren't losing.
The
There's
Seahawks
no
are
fucking
losing.
way.
Seahawks are losing. Dude.
If you think we lose 4 in a row, you're delusional.
We'll see, man. The Saints.
The Falcons can't guard the pass.
So the thing is, I think this is a perfect record for the Saints. I had the Saints at 7-10.
Fuck no.
Dude, they're what?
2 and 4.
They're 2-4 now. They went undefeated at the start of the year. 2-0.
They're at least
They lost
9
4 straight.
though. Because look at who they played.
7-10 and 9-8 aren't that far off. 8-9. They're mid. But they lost Shaheed. They lost.
Okay, injury, taking into account injuries, yes, but I do think they win tonight, which we'll get
Shaheed's
to.
been a lot better than people thought he was going to be. I picked him on fantasy up for that specific reason. I saw that coming. I love me some Rashid Shaheed.
Fuck Rashid Shaheed.
What? You don't like Rashid Shaheed?
I hate Rashid Shaheed. Fucking deep threat merchant.
Panthers.
He's literally just Deshaun Jackson glorified.
I had the Panthers at 5-12,
Stupid.
which is high.
You were high on that.
I went high. I was higher on the Panthers than I
But
thought. I knew they were going to bench Bryce.
They could.
I was really hoping for a Bryce Young bounce back. I really was.
Yeah, same.
But Andy Dalton might shake this team up into 5 wins. Who knows? I think they win this week.
They'll go back to Bryce eventually.
I think they will.
15, 16, 17 will be Bryce Young.
I think they win this week against the Commanders. I do.
No.
I do. I think
crazy.
I think they're the underpick
Crazy.
for this week, the underdog pick.
Crazy.
Moving on to the last division, 49ers, 10-7. I have them tied with the Seahawks
Possible.
at 10-7.
Yep.
Just to finish
Who'd you have
top
winning?
that division.
I think you had this.
I had the Seahawks winning that division, but
Okay.
they're both 10-7, so they're both at the top.
And we're both 3-3 right now, so that very well could happen.
The Rams at 8-9. I honestly set them
I
at
could see
8-9.
that.
But the thing is, I thought they were going to be a 10-7 team. The only reason I set them at 8-9 is because of the injury history with Cooper Kupp, the injury history with Matthew Stafford.
I got to go back
They
and
are
watch
a-
that episode.
They are a really good ass team with. They are a good ass team with injuries, which is sad for the Rams. Seahawks, like I said, 10-7. Kenneth Walker was injured, comes back, balls out. They have, honestly, Tyler Lockett has not been as good as people wanted him to be, but JSN has stepped up into that wide receiver
He's
2
been
role,
fine. We're going to have 3 1,000-yard receivers,
which is crazy. But honestly, I don't know about Geno, man. I don't know about
He's
Geno.
just been inconsistent, but I don't think that's his fault entirely. He is 100% a game manager. But, like, we've just been getting shitty luck. Injury-wise, our whole fucking front four was injured. Our entire pass rush was injured. We didn't have Reek last game, so, like, when you don't have Reek and...
People thought the Seahawks were the real deal, which they looked like the real deal to start off the year. And
we are the real deal. We just ran it. We had to play 3 games in 11 days, which 1 is fucked even if you are healthy. 2, we were fucking injured as hell. And 3, like, we got fucking unlucky and a field goal was blocked for a scoop and score. And instead of going to overtime or it being a tie game, we lose by 9. Like
6-11 for the Cardinals. I think that's where they're gonna finish. I do.
It's possible, but Kyler and Marv have looked really good. But
also really bad. Marv's playing this week, from what I hear.
I don't think so.
From what I hear, he hasn't been ruled out yet. Probably a game time decision. But as of right now, nothing's been ruled out. I think he might play this year, or this year.
I hope so.
This week. I have him on my fantasy team, so I hope he plays. But he is questionable. Said Thursday, Harrison concussion, will practice while wearing a non-contact jersey. So doesn't look well. Doesn't look good, but he might play. Who knows? Maybe he comes to his senses within a day. But that's gonna wrap up. That's gonna wrap up the record so far. We'll see how things go to finish off the year, but looking all right so far, I guess. Besides my Vikings and Dolphins picks.
Yeah, Vikings is a rough pick, but I'm not even gonna blame you for that.
And the Browns too. The Browns pick was pretty bad too. But let's move on to the picks for next week. You ready? Because we've already pretty much talked.
I'm gonna write them down this week because I'm gonna crush you.
All right, Broncos and Saints on Thursday Night Football. I think this is an easy pick for the both of us.
Are you going Saints?
No, I'm going Broncos, dude. The Saints are injured as fuck.
Yes, but Alvin Kamara is about to get 6 touchdowns, dude.
Maybe. That one's tough. I'm gonna stick with the Broncos. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna pick the Broncos.
Okay.
But as you can see, I have reasoning as to why.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I don't hate the pick. I mean,
maybe Bo Nix has a day.
I believe in Spencer Rattler. You don't.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is.
What about New England and Jacksonville? The 9:30. That's the London game.
Have the Jacksonville Jaguars been in New England for the whole month? Because it seems like it.
You mean in England?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said New England. That's what they play.
Did I say New England?
Yeah, you said New England. But anyways, I'm picking the Pats.
I'm not.
Really, you're picking the Jags?
Okay.
Drake May, man.
I'll say Jags if ETN plays. No, because I'm saying Jags. Fuck that. Fuck it.
Dude.
Fuck it.
All right. Seahawks, Atlanta. We already talked about this. You picked the Seahawks. I picked the Atlanta. We got $10 on this one. Buffalo and Tennessee. I'm picking Buffalo. Obviously. Come on. I got a Mark.
Fuck it. I'm going Titans.
Dude, I got a Amari Cooper scoring 2+ touchdowns in this game on a parlay. $10.
Have we disagreed on everything?
Probably. Honestly.
I said Saints, Jags, Hawks, and Titans.
Yeah. We disagree on. No, yeah. What about the Bengals Browns? I'm picking the Bengals.
I'm picking Browns.
What?
Nick Chubb return game.
No way, dude. Okay, Green Bay, Houston.
I'm not even writing Browns win. I'm writing Nick Chubb win.
What about Houston versus my Packers?
I'm going Texans already. Like
I'm picking my Packers, man. I'm picking. I got it.
We're either gonna be really right or really wrong. We're just opposite on every game.
What about Indy and Miami? I'm going Indy. Dude, Jonathan Taylor, fucking redemption game.
Is it in the Loud House?
I think so. Yeah, it's in the Loud House.
Is Jonathan Taylor playing?
I believe so. He is unquestionable right now.
Then I'm going Colts. If Jonathan Taylor wins.
He's definitely questionable, but he was sidelined at practice.
Okay, if Taylor plays, that's my you know, I had to bring them back. I had to bring my little caveats back. If Jonathan Taylor plays, they win. Same with obviously Nick Chubb and shit.
All right, Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Lions win.
Yeah, I think the Vikings get their first loss this week.
Shit.
But Hutch isn't playing.
Yeah.
I'm still picking. I'm still picking the Lions.
Did the Lions play Monday last week? When did the Lions play last week?
They played the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Lions coming off a big win.
I'm picking the Lions to roll over, man. I think the Vikings lose their first game this week. You picking the Lions?
This is a hard game. I find it so hard to bet against that Vikings team. Is Aaron Jones playing, though?
I believe so.
If Aaron Jones is playing, that's different.
I don't think anything's been ruled out, so
Let's see here.
let us get our insider reports here. So, Aaron Jones returns to practice today.
Okay, a caveat. If, you know.
You and your damn frickin' conditions. I'm still picking, regardless, I'm still picking the Lions, man.
That's fair. Without Hutch, this is how I'm thinking. Without Hutch, if Aaron Jones is there, they should be able to just run it to that side, right?
Yeah, he returned to full practice today, so...
If Aaron Jones doesn't play, Lions
He's going to
win.
play. He's going to play.
So then I'm going Vikings.
All right.
They also just traded for Cam Akers.
Philly versus the Giants.
Eagles win.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Giants. Danny Dimes has a game. Malik Neighbors is back this week,
yeah,
probably.
Exactly,
So.
which means Daniel Jones is going to play like shit.
Dude, I think they're going to ball
I
out.
don't think they've won with Neighbors playing.
Give me the Giants. Raiders, Rams. Cooper Kupp's back this week, possibly. So
Yeah,
he is
it's
still.
trending in the right direction.
So we.
Is O'Connell starting?
Aiden O'Connell is the starter this week.
Don't hate me. I might go Raiders.
So he practiced in limited. Cooper Kupp practiced in limited capacity today. So it's a possible return for Sunday.
Caveat: if Cooper Kupp plays,
I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Rams regardless, dude. The Raiders, they just lost a core piece.
yeah, but they might
Jacoby
be
Myers might not be playing.
revitalized. You know what? Screw it. Raiders win.
Damn. All right. I'm going the opposite again.
They have something to prove.
I picked it.
We haven't agreed on anything.
Besides the one, we both picked Indy.
Oh yeah.
We both picked the Lions. Actually, but you have your stupid fucking caveats.
Yeah.
Anyways, we already talked Panthers, Commanders. I'm picking Panthers. You're picking Commanders.
Yeah.
And then KC and San Fran Super Bowl rematch on Sunday Night Football, or on Sunday afternoon football, 4:25 start.
I'm going KC
Chiefs.
Win.
Yeah,
Chiefs
I'm going
win.
Chiefs. And then Jets Steelers on Sunday night.
You go, cause I'm
picking the Jets. I'm picking the Jets against with Devontae Adams. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So you're going Steelers.
Yep.
And then
a low-scoring game doesn't favor the Jets. So.
And then we got Ravens, Bucks, and Chargers, Cardinals on Monday Night Football. Give me the Ravens against the Bucks, and give me the Chargers against the Cardinals. I'm picking the two favorites on those two just because Marvin Harrison's probably not going to play this week. So give me the Chargers and give me the Ravens.
I'm saying Ravens and Cardinals.
Cardinals?
Yeah.
All right. So those are our picks for this week. We'll check in next week. We should be back on regular schedule now. Hopefully get all these up. Yeah, we're
back.
We're back. We're back. But like I said before, we do apologize for the long hiatus. We are trying to get new ways of getting out there, trying to get some monetization and possible sponsors. So we do have an email. It is on our Twitter account. So if there's any companies willing to reach out, we are open to sponsors and monetization. But yeah, so that wraps up this episode of the 2 Minute Warning, and we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
See ya.